Well, this is it. Another NaNoWriMo completed. Jesus. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to deal with this. Oh. Ow. Whew. Well, that changed everything. Let's get on with this update. It's officially over. Today, right now, while I'm filming this, is Saturday, November 30th, 2019. The last day of NaNoWriMo. Although I didn't make my 50,000 word count goal, I feel like it is worth celebrating. So this year I decided, instead of starting a new novel and spending the whole month writing that new novel, I'm gonna do some house cleaning and complete some of the works that I haven't finished, some of the works without ending. And I must say, I feel pretty good. And it's not just because I am day drunk. I actually feel really good. There's no better feeling than finishing something. I mean, when you start something, you have that excitement, but the satisfaction you get when you actually finish something, there is nothing like it. That is why I like to make these videos. It's because even if they're not great, there's this completion that happens. I can't pull it from YouTube and edit it again. It's done. The fact that I finished so many projects this month, I am on some kind of high. I must tell you that. I'm on some crazy high. It makes me want to just batch finish stuff, you know? All year, all I could do is just start things. And then November can be just the time I like bring it all together and try to finish as many of them as possible. So this week, the last week of NaNoWriMo, I managed to finish 2 short stories. I'm very proud of that. Very proud of that. So that brings my total to 1 novel completed and 3 short stories completed. It's also so nice to look back at this month and see all that I have accomplished. That's what I love about NaNoWriMo. It leaves a paper trail, like a digital paper trail. I want to share this spreadsheet with you because every time I look at this, it just it warms my heart. Every one of those numbers represented like a day where rather I was super busy and I had to try to squeeze writing into it, or it was a day where I completely dedicated to writing, and you could see the number difference of each day. Some days I feel like hit like 2,000 words, and some days I wrote like 200 words. And I'm glad there's not a single day in this whole month where I had 0. That to me is another reason worth celebrating. There is a short story I didn't manage to get to, and the reason is a few days ago, at the very tail end of NaNoWriMo, my friend Doretta Lau, who wrote the collection of short story, How Does a Blade of Grass Thank the Sun, which is an excellent collection of short stories. Please check it out. It's so good. Anyways, she sent me an application for a mentorship program that I was just like, you know what? I should keep doing this stuff. I need to keep doing this stuff regardless. Anyways, I had to submit a novel for it. It showed how unprepared I was for like opportunities. I felt down about myself for like a little bit, but then I got back to work. I was like, okay, I need to fill out this application. I had to write a few more words in order to get to the 200-page application requirement. And so I spent the last 3 days doing that so I could get that in. And it has been a really productive month. And I do honestly recommend NaNoWriMo for anybody who wants to write more or try to make writing a part of their habit. Please do it. There's really nothing to lose. The worst thing that can happen is you try it out and you figure, maybe writing's not for me. Maybe not this year. It's not a competition. It's just about getting into the habit. Anyways, that is my NaNoWriMo update. And now for the coffee shop review, the last coffee shop review of this series. Where did I go this week? I went to Kafka's on Main Street in Vancouver. Kafka is in one of the busiest spots in the whole entire city. Main Street and Broadway, that's where it is. So what did I think about Kafka's? Let's talk First, about Wi-Fi. Kafka does have Wi-Fi, thank God. It was a very solid experience, not a single issue logging in. You do have to talk to the barista, at least I did. You do have to talk to the barista in order to get the password, but password is espresso. And it was easy to do. I don't always like doing that because I'm an introvert. Asking people is just like another thing I gotta do. However, no problems with it. Very good Wi-Fi, very strong. With that being the case, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 for Wi-Fi. Next, let's talk about coffee. I'm actually gonna throw it to my friend Billy from the YouTube channel Best of 604, which has a bunch of great content, great reviews of different restaurants in Vancouver. You should definitely check them out. Anyways, I'm gonna throw it to Billy, who met up with me to have a cup of coffee at Kafka's. Here's what he thinks about the coffee there.
Saturday morning, pretty good. Not too busy. Pretty indie, I would say. And they fill up to the brim. Like, I got shaky hands and I'm scared to burn myself. Yeah, that's good. I like oat milk in my coffee. So it's a huge plus that they offer that here. Not overly acidic. I've had coffee here before and it's very acidic. And I don't like that. But having this oat milk cut through it, yeah, it's not like a matchstick vibe, but it's nice and homey, I would say. 4 out of 5 seems legit. But look us up at Best of 604, Best of 604, one word, on Instagram. You can search it on YouTube as well, and we're also on Facebook.
So that's Billy. Please do check out Best of 604 if you live in the Vancouver area. Super helpful tip. My favorite video is the one they did about wings, where they visit Phnom Penh in Chinatown. Legendary. Anyways, what did I think about the coffee at Kafka's? I got the mocha again, you know, to be consistent, and there's a lot to like about the mocha at Kafka's. For one thing, they filled it right to the brim, so you're literally, you know, hot stuff coming through kind of thing as you make your way to your table. However, I was a bit disappointed in terms of the flavor of the mocha. I feel like it could have dialed it up one notch in terms of the chocolate flavor. I feel like I'm a big fan of subtle flavor. Really big fan of subtle flavor. However, even for me, I feel like one notch up would have made a huge difference. Otherwise, it was a really good cup of coffee. I really enjoyed it. The mug was really, really large. So with that, I have to agree with Billy. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 as well. There you go. Next, let's talk about comfort. Kafka is actually really nicely laid out. There are a bunch of two-seaters up against the wall, and up at the front by the window, there are a bunch of larger tables and also a comfy couch area and a big communal table right by the bar, which was where I sat. First, I thought maybe I'll sit at one of the two-seaters, but then I moved over to the communal table all to myself because I'm selfish. And that was actually a really nice place for me to be. And sitting there, I had the whole entire coffee shop in front of me. No one was really sitting behind me. If I had to choose, I prefer not having someone sitting behind me because it's a little unnerving and definitely brings down the level of comfort. I didn't have that this time. There was no one behind me. Everybody was in front of me. It was nice because I could see what everybody was doing and no one can sneak up behind me and, you know, put me in a chokehold. So with that being the case, I'm gonna give the comfort level at Kafka's a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Lastly, let's talk about noise level. As I mentioned, I did arrive a bit early, and when I did, there really wasn't anybody there, so it was actually super nice and peaceful. However, as I mentioned, Kafka is in a very foot traffic heavy area, so the peace and quiet didn't necessarily last very long. In 30 minutes of me arriving, people started coming in, and a lot of those people coming in were parents, so they were bringing in their kids, and they tend to be louder. Everybody, as soon as people start coming in, it got much louder. The way it was laid out, it didn't get too bad. The people who were talking were very concentrated up against the wall. They weren't just in the middle, like making noise, which was good. Even when it got really busy and very noisy, it didn't get to the point where I was about to like go crazy. Like, I didn't feel like people were pushing up against me and like shouting and stuff. It was a little distracting, but it wasn't that bad. So with that being the case, I'm gonna have to give the noise level a 4 out of 5 stars. So overall, my experience working at Kafka's, I think it's a really nice spot. It's very nicely laid out. It's in a pretty central location. I have to give it a very respectable 4 out of 5 stars. There you have it, that's Kafka's, and this is the last NaNoWriMo update of this year. I hope you enjoyed this series. Let me know if you did. I might potentially make another one next year. If you enjoy the coffee shop reviews, I might do some videos independent to that. If I check out a coffee shop that I really like, I want to continue sharing that with you. Anyways, thanks for joining me on this trip. Don't forget to check out Billy's channel, Best of 604. And if you like videos about writing and the creative process, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. There you have it. On with December. See you guys real soon.